Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of this new show at WNDU.com/onflix, the podcast. If you guys don't know me, which I highly believe that you probably don't because this is only my second time on camera, I am your host, Benjamin Slack, news producer and up-and-coming film critic here at WNDU. For those of you guys who don't know me, once again, I am a news producer here. When you watch 16 News Now at 6 and 11 Monday through Friday, you are looking at a show produced by me. Well, honestly, I thought my dream came true when I got my first job here at WNDU, not far out of college, but little did I know that I was going to fulfill another dream when I started here of being able to review movies, giving my spoiler-free thoughts to you guys taking my word for it, and going out and enjoying the flicks themselves. It has been a dream of mine for years to be able to do that. I hope that I'm making my grandfather and everybody else in my family proud, friends as well. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody at WNDU that supported me through this past year and a half that I have been here, and for allowing me to get this chance and for making this happen. Thank you guys all so much. But right now, let's get into the main topic of why you guys hopefully clicked or are listening to this show right now. We are in the heart of the summer blockbuster season, the 50th blockbuster season, because of course Jaws, being the first ever blockbuster, is 5 decades old right now. I highly recommend checking that film. If I were giving that a slacker scale grade, it would definitely be an A. But right now, as of July 14th, 2025, let's take a look at the top 3 weekend box office leaders right now. And at number 1, we have Superman, the first movie of the DC universe, sitting at $122 million. And guys, if you have seen that film, that does not come as a surprise because Superman is that good of a movie. It is a phenomenal movie. It is truly a comic book movie come to life. It embodies who Superman is, who he is as both a hero and a human, or, well, I shouldn't really say human, a Kryptonian walking among us in reality. It takes everything that we love about the character, different incarnations throughout the years, puts it all into one actor, David Cornsweet, and honestly, in my opinion, gives us one of the best superhero films that we have seen in a long time. And that's what writer and director James Gunn was going for. He wanted to make a superhero film, a Superman film that everyone could relate to.
I wanted to show Superman as the most, in an intimate way. I wanted to believe Superman. So I wanted to show him in this gigantic DC universe, this magical world that's like from the comic books, where we're entering how I entered as a child, with Superman, with superhuman friends, with giant robots, with kaiju, with all of that. So I wanted to have that, but at the same time, really get to know him, get to know his personality, who he is, what his relationship with Lois is like, what his beliefs are, what his strengths are, what his flaws are.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Mr. Gunn. I think DC is in the right hands right now. I am looking forward for what comes next from them. And if you read my review, which again, hoping that you have, Superman ended up with the final ranking of the slacker scale of a B+. I thought the plot was a little exaggerated at times, but I'm happy that the franchise actually began with the 2024 series last year, Creature Commandos, because it set the tone perfectly for what we were in store for. I saw quite a few similarities between that series and this movie, and I was not at all caught off by surprise having watched that TV show. Superman, fantastic. One of the best comic book movies I have seen in years. Phenomenal cast, great story, very almost realistic story, but a wonderful time at the movies. Why you need to go see movies on the big screen. But let's take a look what came out in number 2 of this weekend's box office. Jurassic World Rebirth, sitting at $40 million. Jurassic Park, you can't go wrong with a good time seeing dinosaurs in movies. Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park film from the 90s, is what made dinosaurs cool again. It's honestly in my top 50 favorite films of all time. And as the series has progressed, it has kind of gone down a little bit. It's had a few highs, though, as well. Jurassic World Rebirth, I think, falls into the middle of that. It's definitely better than Jurassic World Dominion and a lot better than Jurassic Park 3, although there are quite a few similarities between those two. But overall, Jurassic World Rebirth, honestly, it goes back to the format of people going to a place that we all know that they shouldn't be. A body count rises, and there's heroes in there that you know are going to survive the film and hopefully live on to a sequel. If there's one thing that I did not like about Jurassic World Rebirth, it was way too long. It took us forever to see all the fun stuff we were looking at in the trailers, but as a movie, overall, it was okay. It was decent enough. I'd like to see these characters return because they were all really likable. You can't go wrong with Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and Mahershala Ali. Jurassic World Rebirth, it's not the best in the franchise, but it is far from the worst. It ended up with a slacker scale grade of a C-. Now we are going to get over to the final, well, I shouldn't really say final, what is third place in this weekend's box office leader, which is a huge achievement. F1 the movie, $13 million. Guys, F1 the movie, I can't talk more good about because it was just that amazing. I said Superman was the reason we saw movies on the big screen, but F1, I misspoke. I keep forgetting how good F1 actually is. The director took what he did with Top Gun Maverick, the sequel to Top Gun, and he went 110% with F1 the movie. Top that off with a phenomenal cast, including Academy Award winners Brad Pitt and Javier Bardem. A story that's very relatable that kind of goes back to the old sports movies from the 80s and early 90s of underdogs, maybe past or before their prime, rising up and trying to be appreciated for what they are. And you got yourself one heck of a wonderfully piece of filmmaking. F1 the movie ended up with an A- on the slacker scale, and I still stand by that. To me, it is probably the best film of the year so far, even better than Superman, even though I praise it. It might sound a whole lot more, but all these movies are very, very good. I highly recommend checking them all out. Definitely worth the watch, especially now with an expected heat wave on the way. But I think that is going to bring this first episode of Slack on Flicks, the podcast, to a close right now. I wish there was more, but there are more movies out there in the box office, but I only had room to talk about 3 right now. Please go to WNDU.com. I'm Benjamin Slack, guys. Thank you for watching or listening. I will see you guys next week, and have a good time at the movies.